January 2020, planetary transits for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. Happy New Year! This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Sagittarius on the ascendant, Eastern Standard Time, New York. We begin January 1st, 2020, with 5 planets in Capricorn in the second house sector. The Sun at 10 degrees Capricorn, Mercury at 4 degrees, Jupiter at 6 degrees, Saturn at 21 degrees, and Pluto at 22 degrees of Capricorn. In the 12th house, we have the planet Mars at 28 degrees of Scorpio. Venus is placed at 14 degrees of Aquarius in the 3rd house sector. In the 4th house, we have the planet Neptune at 16 degrees of Pisces with the moon at 18 degrees. Uranus is placed at 2 degrees of Taurus in the 6th house, retrograde. On January 10th, Uranus will turn direct motion at 2 degrees Taurus, 39 minutes, 8:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please note, if you know your astrological chart, don't forget to look at the natal condition of the 2 planets involved in transit. For example, if transiting Sun is square transiting Saturn in space on that day, first check to see if the Sun and Saturn form an aspect in your birth chart by conjunction, opposition, square, trine, or sextile. If it does, blend the quality of the transiting aspect with the quality of the natal or birth aspect. This rule should also be applied to planetary transits to natal planets. If transiting Saturn is square your natal moon, first, look at the natal condition between the moon and Saturn. Should there be a natal trine between moon and Saturn, then a problem will arise transiting square, but will be resolved. Natal trine. On January 2nd, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter in the 2nd house and brings the possibility of good news in relation to money, personal possessions, or whatever it is you value most in life. On January 3rd, Mars enters Sagittarius and moves into the 1st house sector. January 10th brings the full moon, 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 20 degrees of Cancer in opposition to the Sun at 20 degrees of Capricorn, spanning houses 8 and 2, bringing important news and communication concerning personal or joint finances. With the planet Mercury conjunct the Sun in the 2nd and oppose the Moon in the 8th house, today will be busier than usual. A good day to get your taxes done. Personal values versus the values of others will be highlighted. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction culminates on January 12th at 22 degrees of Capricorn in your 2nd house sector. Please refer to my in-depth videos on the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Over the past 18 months, hopefully, the foundation was laid for a new financial beginning. Use January 12th through 13th under the powerful conjunction of Mercury, Sun, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn to review whether or not the new framework is solid. Determine what has been accomplished and what still needs to be implemented or improved upon. Write a to-do list, get organized, and get it done to take full advantage of the magnificent Jupiter-Pluto conjunction of 2020. The planet Venus enters Pisces on January 13th and moves into the 4th house. On January 16th, Mercury enters Aquarius and moves into the 3rd house. Mercury square Uranus on January 17th or 18th, depending on where you live, between houses 3 and 6, could indicate upsetting or unexpected news from a coworker. Be diplomatic and flexible in your response. The Sun enters the sign of Aquarius on January 20th and moves into the third house. On January 22nd or 23rd, depending on your location, under the Sun square Uranus between houses 3 and 6, you can expect the unexpected. This day will not go according to your plans, especially in relation to the job environment, coworkers, or health and well-being. January 24th brings the new moon at 4 degrees of Aquarius, 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the third house sector, and a fresh start to all third house concerns over the month ahead. This new moon is in square aspect to Uranus in the sixth house, so leave room for the unexpected. The planet Venus will square Mars on January 26th between houses 4 and 1, activating your romantic and sexual needs. On another level, care and diplomacy is needed in how you deal with family members today. The tendency under this energy is to be impatient and short-tempered. Caution is advised. On January 27th, Venus conjunct Neptune in the fourth house could give you the desire to escape into romantic daydreams. However, if you do creative work, this aspect is sublime. Your output will have an acute sensitivity that is lacking at other times. Home decorating is favored by this conjunction. The Mars square Neptune energy of January 28th between houses 1 and 4 warns you to avoid dealing aggressively with family members. Mars energy can make you overly attached to your desires and willing to fight in order to have your way. However, the square energy is one of blockage and frustration, and joined with the planet Neptune, ego defeats will be the result. On another level, this is not the day to do home renovations. The project you undertake may be beyond your capacity or skill to handle successfully. Neptune energy can delude you into thinking it's manageable, when the truth is, it's way over your head. Call a professional instead.